Alright, so what do we have here? I think you guys know what this is. Okay, we'll give it away, just in case you can't figure it out. It's an 01 S2000 on the lift. What is it here for? You're all saying supercharger. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. This guy here is coming out. Something else is going in. S2000 now has no engine. So we are now dealing with that big pile of wires. That's no longer in it. So one of the first things you got to do, we're using the import muscle kit on this. We're not building our own system. The customer supplied everything, so we're using everything of his. So the first thing you got to do is cut out the bar that goes across here, which is that. If you have an S2000, you're used to looking at it that way. So basically you got to drill out the spot welds, which used to sit right there. So that is the first part. Obviously the radiator is going to come out. We're going to use one of our radiators and dual small fan setups. And then we're going to do some cutting around here, make some clearance, and start positioning the motor. Shot from the top of the cross member that's removed. We need to do some trimming back here. As you see, I've took the water hose, the crossover tube off. Over here we have the subframe going on. George is working on that. There is a rack relocation which he's already put on, and the outer tie rods have to be changed. There's a rack relocation. This will be kind of interesting. The last one we did, we built everything ourselves. So it's kind of nice to have a kit that somebody else has already figured out, and should speed things up quite a bit. Alright, prepping the engine bay now, getting ready to start building mounts. The rack, as you saw there, moves forward probably about 6 inches. So this is the steering shaft. In the kit they give you a piece of round bar that you're supposed to put up to that to extend it. And the problem is, if you don't get this perfectly true, not only are you going to cause a weakness in the steering shaft, but you're also going to have a bump in the steering. So the way we do it, the way we did it on our last car, is we get some tube that we have the exact diameter, so that when this is cut, we can extend it by this. Then we know the shaft is true. This doesn't have any flop to it. So we can extend it, put a weld around here. So it's a much more accurate way of doing it. And yeah, by the way, I'm out of LHT shirts. I'm wearing a Clutchmaster shirt today. Here we go, we got a tube in place. It overlaps the steering shaft about 3 inches on each side, so it makes it easier to get that shaft perfectly true. So we're gonna weld that. I'm gonna use, obviously, a Miller TIG. We're not gonna do the MIG Heliart beer drinking, redneck welding, whatever it is. We're going to take it so we know it's absolutely perfect, and we still utilize the factory universal joint that fits back right the way it needs to. This is the motor that the customer supplied. It's an LS1. It had a little bit of damage on it from the shipping down here, long story, but the manifold got damaged, valve covers got damaged, a few things are missing, so we have to source an alternator, compressor, belt, one of the looks like a pulley's missing right here, a few of the things we've got to get, so we need to get those so we can start making those parts fit. Alright, sending the harnesses out. Here's the complete LS1 harness that is all boxed, bubble wrapped. Here's the S2000 harness. We are sending these to Cam at Tweaked Performance. He's going to basically build us a new harness and use the plugs off these that we need to make it a plug-and-play harness. So we'll talk about the harness when it comes back, and we'll show you a little bit more detail of what it looks like, just so he knows where it comes from, just in case.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys. I went and I met him on a Sunday during football, which was...
Of course, we didn't know it was drained until we moved the motor and dripped it all over the floor. Looks nice too.